I cannot get my daughter to eat a chicken nugget without gagging.
I feel like I'm getting to that point in my life where I'm like, why put the energy, into something that's not genuine and build up this reputation or this image of yourself for people that is not sustainable?
I genuinely want to know, what do? You're just about to fall asleep and your child bursts into your room crying because his teeth hurt, even though everything looks perfectly fine when you check it. Hey friends, welcome to What Even Is This, the podcast that recognizes life's a mess, so why not talk about it? I'm Jane, and joining me as always is my co-host Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Hi, Jane, and hey to everyone listening. We are two working moms who are just trying to make sense of this whole being an adult thing.
Exactly. Around here, we spiral out loud about our faith, about work, about motherhood, pretty much everything, okay? Because pretending we've got it all together is just exhausting and pretty inauthentic, if you ask me.
Yes. And I mean, if you've ever looked at your life and thought, wait, what are we doing here? Congratulations, you're in the right place.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yes, Jordan. Well, let's get into it. What do we got coming up here for What Even Is That?
Yeah. So what even is that? This is the little pre-deep dive that we'll take before the actual deep dive into the existential spiral that will come later. And so this is What Even Is That? And this is the part of the show where I'm going to bring something from the internet, the lovely, lovely internet, that makes us question humanity and, maybe if not humanity, then just our screen time, which is probably a little appalling most of the time.
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. Because just nothing says life comes at you fast, like realizing the internet has already moved on from the thing that I have just discovered or upheaved from the internet abyss, if you will.
Yeah.
So what chaos have you uncovered for us this week?
So and you'll probably, as the season goes on, you'll probably get more and more of an idea of most of this will come from Instagram because that's just
it's the millennial playground.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Facebook,
really is.
No. TikTok, too old. Yeah. Instagram. And I have kind of fallen into this algorithm rabbit hole of corporate humor is maybe the only way that I can think of to talk about it.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah. And, it's kind of the idea of if you're not laughing, you're crying. Just, I'm going to be honest. So, I mean, there's so many people, but for me, there is I think it's Brian Vieira is maybe how you say his name.
We'll go with
you
that.
You guys all know him. He's the guy who comes into the office and kicks his backpack and just has sass for days.
Yes.
Yeah, sass for days. He's really good. And then there's another guy who, and I'm looking down because I'm looking at my phone. Corporate, let me see. What is his name? Corporate Casualties.
Oh, wow. That's a loaded title.
A child. I'm just going to put it, he's a child. He looks like he's barely out of his teens, but he's in a corporate job. So now I just feel old too, which is great for that existential scrolling. But yeah, I mean, they both just kind of get on here and make these one-shot videos. I feel, well, corporate guy maybe a little bit more than the Brian guy, but he even says in his bio, I make these before work just for jokes. And the fact that this guy's probably making money doing this makes me mad. Because I wish I could do that. But I mean, one of them is when the Wi-Fi drops for 5 seconds and takes my entire workflow in it. And that's the whole video, but it has 10,000 views. So it just, it's a place that I can go on Instagram that I don't feel like I could call it brain rot necessarily.
Okay.
It's more of camaraderie.
Brain camaraderie. We gotta coin that or something.
Exactly. There's always going to be some piece of one of their videos that I go, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's scary real, right?
Yes,
so you bring up that Wi-Fi thing just this week. So one of my job outside of this is I'm a podcast producer for another podcast. And it was so funny. So we were, I sit on the screen as a producer. Behind the scenes, the two hosts are talking, and one of the hosts says, so my opening question for you is, have you ever made a quilt? And there was a silence for like 10 seconds. And of course, like I'm following along in the script and I'm like, gosh, this is not brain science. Like, why is she not responding? And I go onto the screen, I'm using Riverside, and she's frozen like this. If you can see me, if you're watching along, it's like this. She's frozen, like with a goofy grin on her face. And me and the other podcast host go, I think we lost her. And when she got back on, she said there was a crew working down the street, and there was a power flash, and it also affected their Wi-Fi. So like out of nowhere, I was kind of like, wow, I was sitting here thinking this was not rocket science. It's a yes or no question, but you are really thinking deeply on, have you ever made a quilt? So anyway, I say that because when you bring up like stuff like that, like the Wi-Fi goes out and I lose all this work, or in the work that I do, I lose a guest and I go, oh, where did they go? Anyway, it's just scary, real. And I'm kind of
I feel like, I mean, it's a way that, at least for these two guys, I mean, there's other videos, like I said, there are plenty of people doing this, but
sure,
they're putting into words things that I'm not brave enough to put into words. So like, that's kind of my other little, like, I mean, one of the corporate guy, like one of the things that he said was, hope this finds you well. It didn't. Like, I feel
that opening, and I try not to use it because I'm like, I don't know how this email's going to find you. Like, and I
at your desk,
maybe, honestly, don't want to know. I don't know. Like at your desk, in the depths of despair. I don't know. Like it's kind of like, well, this was just a cold call, and I wanted to see if you were available for an interview. But hey, whatever.
I promise the conversation will get better. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan, that's so funny. It's
I mean, just expect little nuggets of joy like that when we get to the "What even is that?" segment that we're going to start off with. And I am making my promise now. I will vary it. I will mix it up, but mainly it will be Instagram.
That's okay. Instagram is good.
Dissecting Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram is probably the place that I hang out the most when we talk about social media. And I know it's probably light years behind TikTok, but like you said, I feel a little too old for TikTok, or I don't know. I just feel like I don't fit there. So anyway.
Well, and what's the phrase? Like, I'm caught up on TikTok, but it's because it gets turned into a reel on Instagram like 2 weeks later.
Yes, exactly.
So we'll get there. We get it at some point.
Exactly. And we have people in our lives, like my sister who is a TikToker. She likes hanging out there. And so she keeps me young. She keeps me informed. And when I send her a reel, she's like, Jane, that was like 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, all right. I don't know. Somehow I just feel even a little less prepared for life than before. If you feel me. So
I do. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Jordan, for enlightening us with the what
pleasure.
Even is that for today. But I think it's time for us to jump into today's big question. So what are we asking today, Jordan?
Yeah, so that spiral I was talking about, here we go. So
Buckle up.
Segment, this segment is the What Even Is This? And so this is, take a deep breath, get some snacks, existential dread on standby, maybe. But it's time, like you said, for the main episode question. And so today we are asking, what is the most surprising part of being an adult who's also a career girly, who is also, in our case, a mom? So that is what we are going to be tackling for the next few minutes.
Oh boy. Are you serious?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, no one warned us that adulthood is basically just Googling things while we're pretending to be in charge. And I'm still wondering who thought that was a good idea. But here we are.
Exactly. So we'll start here.
Okay.
What is something you really thought you'd have figured out by the time you hit adulthood. But like you said, we're still Googling, we're guessing, we're winging it every single time.
Okay, this one probably is a little more practical and it might feel silly, but this is real life for me, okay? I cannot for the life of me remember how to boil an egg.
Yes. No, I've done
Hard
this.
boil an egg. It's every
Yes.
time. It does not stick in my memory. It just kind of, I Google it, I do it, and then it just flies away till the next time. And I've made enough egg salad sandwiches in my life. Like this should stick. But like, I walk to the stove and I go, do I boil the water first and then put the egg in, or do I put the egg in before I boil? And then how many eggs is too much? And some recipes, if you can even call it that, has like, make sure there's an inch of water that covers it and all the things. And then some will say boil it straight for like, I don't know, like maybe 15 minutes. The timing's lost on me a little bit, but then some say boil it for 10 and then turn off the heat and move it on. Like, what is the right way? And maybe there's just more ways than one to hard boil an egg, but I Google it every time and I just can't. And I kind of feel guilty, or not guilty. I feel ashamed, embarrassed. I don't know. It feels like such a simple thing to do. So
You're higher up on the food chain than an egg. You should know how to cook it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Jordan, what about you though? What are you Googling?
So very embarrassing. Day job, it revolves around writing and content and all the things. So Google is my, how do you spell this again? Oh, because, or is it effect? Like,
oh gosh, I hate
that kind of a thing.
Yeah. No, thank you.
So, and I know that Grammarly exists. I know all that stuff, but like, I don't want to do that feels wrong to me as a writer to have Grammarly on my computer.
Really?
But I will forever go to Dr. Google. Yes.
Can we unpack that a little bit? Can we unpack that? Because I use Grammarly. It feels
like I'm undermining myself. I don't know.
Interesting.
I feel like I should know. Grammarly shouldn't have to tell me.
Okay.
I think that, and it's just like another thing on my computer that's telling me how bad I'm doing at something. So
okay.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. So yeah, no Grammarly on my computer. But yeah, no, Google is definitely the dictionary, the thesaurus, the AP style guide. Like it's all the things for me.
Wow, so. AP style guide. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Pulled that out of the recesses of my brain.
Oh my gosh. But not hard-boiled eggs, so
No. No, we don't really boil many eggs in this house. So no, I only have to do that at Easter.
Okay.
when we're gonna dye the eggs, we gotta boil them. So that's once a year. I'm joining you on Google.
Well, see, there you go. Joining me on Google. Join us. Yeah. Welcome.
Yes.
Well, Jordan, in that vein, when do you feel most like you're crushing it at work, and when do you feel like you're barely holding it together as a mom? And honestly, I think you can take that both ways, at work or mom or together, all the things.
Crushing it at work, I feel like if I can get through a day, and I'm one of those people who I have about 2 or 3 different ways that I'm keeping track of everything that I have to do. We have Asana, we have my calendar and my computer, and then we have a actual notepad, like Noted, I think is the range that Post-it came out with like forever ago. I love it. They have so many different
interesting
Post-it notepad things. It's so nice. And so I have that. So I'm physically writing it down. I have my computer telling me that I need to do something. And then I have Asana, pinging and doing all the things. So if the stars align and I get everything done in a day, but mainly, and you probably can relate to this too. The reason I still have the physical list is there is something about crossing it off when you're done. Putting a little check mark, scribbling it out. So for me, if I can write out my list for the day, and then actually by the end of the day, and here's the thing, I'll take an 80% full. Like I don't even have to have 100. If I can get about like 3/4 of the way there, we're good. So that, because again, I love lists, as you can probably tell. So, I'm an Enneagram 6, so I love processes. I am loyal to those processes. I need order in my life. So I think that would be a winning day for me, is any time that my orderly processes have worked out. Then, hey, I'm winning. And then, and I don't know, you may agree with this too. I feel like when you're winning at work, you're not at home. So like I don't have it equal very often. I feel like if one's high, the other one's low. So, the days that, and, I work from home. So, and
Sure.
I work from home. My kids go to school. So, I have about a 6 or 7 hour block every day that I can get stuff done. But inevitably, there's still stuff to get done when they get home. So, they come home from a long day at school. They have to do their homework. And then my daughter has watched the 4 seasons of SpongeBob that are available on Amazon Prime right now. She's probably watched those like 5 times because that's her jam. And she comes home and she needs goldfish in a bowl. The crackers, not goldfish. And she has to sit on the couch and veg. And I'm like, you know what? Go girl. Like, you had a long day. I wish I could be doing that, but like, do that. And then I go, back to my desk and I'm there for another hour or 2. And, I feel very guilty that I am not like welcoming them home a little better. Like, how was your day? Let's decompress. Let's blah, blah. Like, I just kind of go, all right, peace. Mom's, I gotta go finish this blog. I gotta go do,
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it has a very inverse relationship where you've got, this one's high, this one's gonna be low. And I mean, maybe once in a blue moon, they're at the same. But
Sure.
That would be
that's relatable, Jordan, because I feel the
good.
exact same way. So I'm here to tell you, you are not alone in that.
Good. Oh, thank you.
Especially this school year for me, like similar to you, all 3 of my kids are in school all day.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to me a year ago. I had one that was in preschool, and so she would be coming home midway through the day, and I felt even worse because I would try and like get her set up with lunch and then try and at least work in the general vicinity that she was in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just like never enough. And I don't know if it's a youngest kid thing or what, but she's like, pay attention to me, play with me.
Yes.
And she comes up to me and she's like, no one will play with me.
It's also a baby of the family thing. Like, they get all the attention anyway.
I'm an oldest daughter.
Same.
I know you're an oldest daughter.
Yes.
And I can't relate. Like,
no, I can't.
I don't know. It's kind of like, girl, like, we can't all focus our energy on you. You are one of 5 people in this house.
Yeah.
So I resonate with that. It's like an inverse relationship, work and motherhood. And quite honestly, I think it's just this tension that we all feel, and it's real, and mom guilt is real. And really just learning to reckon with that and wrestle with it and trying to explain to your kids, like, I love you and I can't focus all my energy on you right now. And because part of the work that I'm doing is part of what it means to take care of you, and of course there's boundaries. Yeah. I don't know if there's a balance, but there's boundaries that you can set, and that's healthy to do. And also it's hard, and I think that's where the tension is. We kind of walk around with that.
Yeah.
I know. I will say, as a mom, when I feel like I'm barely holding it together is at the dinner table. I hate.
Oh my word. Yes.
Okay. And this is like, listener, you need to know this about me. I love to cook. Nothing brings me greater joy than baking or making a meal. And I had these ideas of grandeur before we had kids of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to follow all these rules and make my own baby food. And my kids are going to have the most widest palates imaginable. I cannot get my daughter to eat a chicken nugget without gagging at the dinner table. Yes, she is very much carbs.
Oh, that's funny.
And we have like this saying where it feels like she's leaning towards a vegetarian diet. And I'm like, you know what? You can be a vegetarian. I accept that. But you got to eat a vegetable to be a vegetarian. Okay? So like, don't even give me that. Like,
Yeah.
so, and my husband and I say if 2 out of the 3 eat the meal that is presented to them, then it's a win. And that rarely happens. And I feel so defeated. So like I spent this last hour prepping this meal, and they're not even like these elaborate meals. I gave up on that after the first one. Like when he started gagging on things that I was making him, I was like, okay, maybe I need to make this simpler, work smarter, not harder, right? And,
Exactly.
you know, and so, and it's the first thing they ask when they get home in the car.
Oh, yeah.
What's for dinner? And the state of their evening is dependent on the answer to that question. And it drives me bonkers because I know if I say we're having spaghetti tonight, my oldest is going to be ticked. The other 2 are going to just want noodles with no sauce, no meatballs.
How?
And they will appease me by eating 1 green bean that I put on their plate. And
There you go.
it's just so defeated. I just feel so defeated, and I haven't cracked that code. I know I'm not the only one, but I do have moments where it just really drags me down, and I feel like I'm barely holding it together. And I go, why do we even bother? I know it's good. There's research about families who eat together, you know, are closer and, you know, being bonded together closer, but get real. Like, it's not happening in the Doerman house. I'm sorry. Like, I can't.
I mean, you know what? They're alive. They're still alive. So it's fun. They're getting what they need.
I sure hope
my
so,
approach.
because I feel guilty when I go to the annual doctor checkups for each one. And the question always comes, so
How many servings?
how's the eating habits? How I'm like, well,
So good.
they're gaining weight on the curve, right? It's
Yeah.
following the curve, right? That's good. How many vegetables do you like? And my favorite is
ask
when my
that.
daughter goes, I love carrots and cucumbers and broccoli. And I just go, oh, really? You've been gaslighting me all these times at the dinner
You've
table
been
that these are
sneaking
your
that?
favorite? I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Oh, goodness. Okay, next question. And
Yes,
this one will
ma'am.
be very interesting to hear your
oh
answer.
boy.
Do you ever feel like you have to switch personalities between work and home, and what part of you gets lost in that shuffle?
Oh gosh. I know I probably do this more often than I want to admit. And it's so funny, Jordan, because you and I work in spaces where we're constantly encouraging women to integrate your whole life, you know, bring your whole authentic self to work. And that has been such a hard nut to crack as a woman who works, has kids, has all the things. Because I don't know if you've ever entered into a conversation before, Jordan, like at work, let's say, and the question comes up, how was your weekend? And then you start talking about all the different things that you did, because it's usually kid related, right? Because they have extracurriculars. Maybe you had a family party. Maybe your kid had a birthday party to go to and all the things. And I see the glaze and the malaise on the person's face, like, oh, wow, like kids are like a big part of your life. Or even my favorite is when someone who maybe I'm at like a work event and someone is trying to make conversation with me and they go, so what do you do outside of work for fun? And I sit there and I look at them and I go, well, fun. I'm either with my family or I'm at work. And some people would say, well, that's not a balanced life. You need to, self-care, whatever. And I go, that is all the time I have. Like, if I want to have a hobby, if you will, like I'm going to bake these things for my kids and they're not going to eat any of it. And I feel like I wasted my time. So, I don't know, maybe I'm being cynical, but it's just a really hard thing.
Have you baked something recently that your children have just like thrown back at you? Are we confessing this right now?
I gotta confess this because one of my kids has recently been diagnosed with celiac disease. Okay, so we are learning a new way of life in the gluten-free world, and we are going hybrid. If y'all have gluten-free recipes you want to send my way, I am in the experimentation research stage of this, okay?
Nice.
So one of our family traditions is we have cinnamon rolls on our birthdays. I make them, and like I have perfected this cinnamon roll recipe, and it has gluten galore throughout it. And now it is like it feels like a cruel joke, to be quite honest. Like it's like once I mastered it, I really can't use it anymore. At least when my oldest is around, which is she's going to be at all these birthdays for now until he's at least 18, right? And so we want to include him in the mix. So I'm like researching different cinnamon roll recipes that are gluten-free, and I found one, and it was amazing. And like a couple tweaks, and like 2 of my kids loved it. My daughter was raving about it. My oldest was raving about it. I'm like, great, we found some. My husband said it was pretty good. He said it could probably use a little bit more filling, which I'm like, fine, I can work with that.
Yeah.
The birthday boy, this time around, took a bite and said, I don't like this. This tastes funny. And I felt like, stabbing me in the heart. I feel like this is therapy now. Like I just felt, my husband's like, it's okay, Jane. Like it, 2 out of 3. And I'm like, but it was his birthday.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it. And yes, gluten-free food tastes different. It really does. Like I've noticed it. The texture's different.
Yeah.
And I understand why. And it's like, can you meet me halfway, kid? Can you just meet me halfway? And he was just like, nope, I don't even like this. So anyway, I say all that. What was the question to begin with?
Do you have a split personality between work and home?
Well, I think I do, based on this.
Okay.
Conversation.
Well,
more so than I would like to admit. And I am still trying to figure out how to bring my whole authentic self into things. And I've made progress, but I don't know. It is hard. It is very hard. What's your experience, Jordan?
Well, actually, I was going to share. So you and I worked together for a few months.
We sure did.
Where this came from is that we clicked and said, hey, we're going to make a podcast. So in working with you for a few months, this is more an observation of you. I, for the longest time, thought that you were very like, no nonsense, professional, very like, I'm here to do work. Don't talk to me about anything other than that. And then, I mean, it took like 2 weeks and I went, no, it's not Jane.
No, that's hilarious.
But I mean, so I say that to say like maybe we do it more than we realize.
Wow.
But for me, I think I've gotten honestly a little bit more aligned, which is weird to say, but I think, my other answer was the whole inverse thing. I think this one, actually, I can keep it pretty balanced for some reason. But I think, again, it goes back to like just the personality that I have. I don't do fake. I don't do like, if you are not who you are all the time, I don't trust you. So like, that's fair. I don't put that out into the universe because I don't want it coming at me. So I feel like I am who I am, and it either works or it doesn't. And you click with people, you don't click with people, and I mean, and I think I used to not be, because I would, to be quite honest, crash out at the end of the day from working because I had just had to put on this show essentially for like 8 hours. And, do all these calls. Like even podcasting, man, I started doing it like 5 or 6 years ago. And actually probably more like 7. And, it was kind of a, hey, we want to do this. And it's like, okay, great. Well, you're going to do I went, what? Okay. Cause I'm super introverted. And so this was like never on my radar. And so it was kind of like situations like that. Right. And now looking back, it was a growing experience, and you're going to have those. So I think for me in my life, and it wasn't even just with like getting into a career or a job or anything, like this started back in like college, where I had been homeschooled the whole time I was in school. Yeah. And then I actually went to college. And so that was like my very first experience with like a school, like an institution. And you learn real quick that you've got to figure out who you are, and you got to figure out how you can keep up who you are. And I think that was a slow lesson at first for me to learn. And then you just also, I think, again, it's an age thing. I'm 38 and a half. So I'm getting to the 40, but, and again, going back, Instagram, saw a reel recently, where it was like, millennials just kind of get to this point where we're like, we don't care anymore. Like, it is what it is, or, I am who I am, like that kind of a thing. Like we're done playing to the people. We're done and it's just kind of like, yeah, I kind of feel that. I feel like I'm getting to that point in my life where I'm like, why put the energy, into something that's not genuine, and, build up this reputation or this image of yourself for people that is not sustainable. And like, wouldn't you rather that they like you for you? So, I try to just be me, and, hope that people like it, because that's not going to change. So like, it's going to work or it's not going to work. And so then at home, my hope is that, which, I mean, they don't really see me work necessarily, but like, I would hope that my kids see that, like, I'm not sacrificing pieces of myself to like fit a mold kind of a thing. And, and then just show them, like, you have to figure out your worth. Like, what do you bring to the table that is needed? And, I think that's a big part of it. So I don't know if that was a good enough answer.
No, that's a great answer, because I just feel, I feel like I've been having conversations a lot like this lately, where I think something, at least in the workplace, that really is a millennial character trait or flaw, I don't know, is we really don't care about titles, because what is a title when we know we're going to be asked to do things outside our job description?
Right.
Really. So like, how am I don't know how this goes for you, Jordan, but titles, I don't really hang on to that as part of my identity, because I'm like, this is who I am. This is what I'm passionate about, and take it or leave it. And it can be hard when they're like, okay, I'm going to leave it, because you're like, oh, like, I just put myself out there and oh, this is not cool. Great. Awesome. So, and so I do think it is an act of bravery or courage to show up as your whole authentic self. I think that's something as a value, maybe generationally or personally, for sure, is just, how am I bringing my whole self into it and being true to who that is? In turn, you're saying, will you honor that in the workplace? And that involves, for us, being moms. That involves, family life that can honestly interfere with work life sometimes, because it's inconvenient. And I tell you, Jordan and listener, that I struggle with the inconvenience of family. Like, I love my family. Yeah. But when you wake up and you're puking, and I have a bunch of interviews that day that I know I have to go into the office, and now that's just blown up everything. Like, how do we deal? So anyway, it is, I guess I say that just to acknowledge that it is hard. It is important. But it is good for us to try to show up authentically. Yeah. So,
well, in case you couldn't tell, Jane is the more affirming of the two of us. She will make you feel like what you have said is valid and you are seen, which I appreciate greatly. So let's lighten it back out. Let's end this on a different note than where we were going with that. And let's get on to what is even happening.
Oh, yes. It's our favorite part of the show that keeps us humble. So in What Even Is Happening, this is a segment that I am really excited to dive into with you and and hopefully involve some of our listeners in this segment. Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, and this was kind of our thought process behind this was, we can sit here and talk all day about, what
Sure.
even is this and what's going on? But like, we're not the only ones that are saying this and asking this. So we want this to be all of our segment. So this is where, eventually we want to hear from you. Like, what is your chaotic or messy or just downright unhinged life moments? We want them. We want to hear them. Yeah.
We do. But since the inbox is still quiet, this is a new show, Humble Beginnings.
Exactly.
We're all about it. We're going to start with our own chaos moments that the kind that makes you go, welcome to my life. Okay. Okay. So Jordan and I are going to go first.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're going to go first because I don't have.
Okay.
I'm trying
Jordan and I
to
can go first in this, chaotic ridiculousness that we call life. But my question for you, because I genuinely want to know, what do you do when you are snuggled in your bed, you are just about to fall asleep, and your child bursts into your room crying because his teeth hurt, even though everything looks perfectly fine when you check it? I can tell you what I did. It was probably not the right answer. I spiraled. My husband pulled out his phone, put the flashlight on it, and he, the child in particular has orthodontia work on his teeth.
Okay.
So we thought maybe it's a bracket, maybe it's a wire, maybe it's this. But he kept saying, like, it's just this pain. It hurts, and it's my upper teeth, and it feels like it might be just one tooth or it might be all of my upper teeth. And I'm like, well, my sinuses are trash, okay? And when we've had a weather surge, I kind of feel like I'm all over the place here. We had a weird weather thing happen this week where winter came early. As we are recording this, fall, we are still in fall on the calendar, okay? But a winter storm came. We got a couple inches of snow.
Oh, wow.
The weather temps plummeted, okay? And everybody's got coughs and runny noses and all the things. And so I'm like, maybe it's his sinuses, and so I'm giving him Advil. We gave him Oragel. I found a tube of Oragel lurking in the back of our medicine cabinet that I'm
probably expired, but it's fine.
I know. I checked it and I said, I have a couple more months, so hopefully this works. And so we rubbed it on his gums. I mean, Jordan, we were up with him all night, and I just kept thinking, is this something you take your kid to the ER for? Surely. He's not bleeding. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? You're another mom. What would you have done? Tell me where I went wrong.
Well, what was the outcome?
The outcome is I called the orthodontist because I'm like, maybe it's the work.
At 2 a.m.?
I called it it was more like 3 a.m. I called it prompted me. They had an AI robot, which that was weird. Talking to an AI robot. But it eventually put me through to the doctor on call, which apparently is the orthodontist who owns the practice, and it was her cell phone. And I just left a message because it went straight to voicemail, and I explained what was going on.
Yeah.
I think at 4 a.m., he finally fell asleep. Oh. And so I fell asleep, and then I jolted awake at 5:30 because the orthodontist called me back saying she would schedule him in at 8:50 that morning if I could bring him in. And I said, yep, sure. So we went to the orthodontist. He went back. They brought him almost directly back out to me, and they said, everything looks fine.
Oh, boy.
And at that point, he woke up at 6:30, and he was like, it's a miracle. My teeth don't hurt anymore. And I said, we're still going to this appointment to rule this out because, I don't even know. And so they said everything looks fine to them. He says his teeth don't hurt anymore. Next time, just take him to the ER. And again, I still question that. I don't know. It's a lot of money to take a kid to the ER or anybody.
And the orthodontist.
And the orthodontist, all the things. Yeah. And then they were like, or try and schedule an appointment with his dentist, which we could. Yeah. But again, wasn't necessary. So I don't know. judge me if you want, but I I just kind of sat there like, I don't even know,
Yeah.
what is this life? What even
Yeah.
is happening right now? So
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I would have probably been digging through a medicine cabinet too. Like, what can I throw not lethally at this child to put them to
Exactly.
sleep? Put
It's
them to
like
sleep.
you
Yeah.
just have to get to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
course that we were headed towards.
Yeah.
Like my husband was sleeping on the couch because my son crawled into bed, with us because he was like just so like freaked out by it. And he's the type of kid when he's like in pain like that, he gets angry and sometimes a little belligerent, if I'm being honest. And I'm just kind of like, we're like coaching him, and I'm just trying to be like,
Yeah.
it's not you, it's him. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's going to be fine. But anyway, so that's what happened to me this week.
Poor guy.
I
Poor
know.
guy.
I will say he is doing fine. We were like a few days out from that, and he's like, yeah, it's like it never happened. So
Phantom pain. Love it.
exactly. I love it.
Ugh. Yeah. No. Okay. So for me, this one is an ongoing
Oh,
chaos
dear.
sport, for me. Yeah. So I have two children. My son he just turned 10. And then my daughter is like 5.5. And my daughter is autistic. And so we figured out that she was autistic back when she was around 2, because her speech was like basically non-existent. So we got her diagnosed and got her into a bunch of therapy. So the first like half of her life essentially was spent in therapy. So she talks real well now, which is a
yay for
blessing and a
you.
curse. Yes, blessing and a curse. And I had parents that were like, oh, just wait. When they start talking, you want them to not talk anymore. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. No, I get it. I'm there. So she, remember I said I was introverted. So my daughter has never met a stranger, will never meet a stranger, because she will immediately introduce herself to anyone who looks at her. So going to, I don't know, Target, Publix, anywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, my name is Zoe. What's your name? And then like, if you don't have somebody answer, she will just keep saying it until they do answer. And then my favorite, so my husband is like almost exactly 6 months younger than me. So I'm older by like a few months. So his birthday, he just turned 38 about a month ago. And so Zoe loves a birthday. And so she saw me like getting stuff out, and she's like, oh, whose birthday is it? And of course thinking, is it my birthday? No.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. And I said, no, it's Dad's birthday. And she's like, how old is he going to be? Which, again, reciprocal conversation. This was a goal of her. Like, I'm like, okay, cool, we're doing this. And, so I tell her, it's like, oh, he's going to be 38. And, she's like, oh, okay. Well, anyway, fast forwarding a little bit in the day, I ended up going to urgent care because like I had an ear pain thing. I don't know. And brought her because this was like their fall break, I think. So they were home. Yeah. And bring her. And it was like an immediate, like the person at the front desk. Hi, my name is Zoe. What is your name? Oh, I'm not here for the doctor. I just, like making it very clear this was not her visit. And I mean, the person that did the blood pressure, the person that brought us to the room, and then the actual doctor comes in. Well, it started with blood pressure person and then doctor that came in. Hi, my name is Zoe. I'm 5 years old. My dad's birthday is today. He is 38. And I went, oh boy. So my joke with my husband now is that she can absolutely never learn her social security number because everyone in the world will know it. Because she will just spit that out right after her first and last name. And I don't even know that she knows she has a middle name because I think that would also be coming out. So that's my ongoing, joy, but also
I love
personal
that.
hell, because I go out for a reason, and the only reason is to get something and come home. So I'm not out to meet strangers. And then I have unfortunately had to meet a few strangers because my daughter does not know what that word means. So yeah, that would be
Well, all I can say is, Jordan, is our daughters could be besties because
oh, yes.
Eva has been guilty of that as well and tells too much of our family, family history or whatever, where I'm like, okay. Like I've had to send emails to teachers before, like that might be borderline inappropriate as far as just like information, because I'm like, it's going to come out. And so I need you to hear from me first.
Hear from the source.
Because, and they go, you're right. She'll probably talk about it. Thank you for this update, because we would have questions, and I'd be like, "Yep." And I wanted you to hear from this true source. So,
yes.
So, friends, that is a wrap on this spiral for today. Yeah. But we know that we're not alone with all the chaos that's happening in the world, in ours, in the world around us. So, if you've got a chaotic moment that made you say, "Send help," we want to hear it, okay? Please don't let us think that we're alone in this. So you can slide into our DMs. That's what the kids are saying today. Maybe am I behind on that?
Yeah, probably.
Or if you're not a DM person, you can email us at the link in our show notes. It's going to be up here on the screen as well. So we just really want to build connection with you through our mess, because that's really, I think, a catalyst for connection. And maybe we can just find a way out together. Sound good to you, Jordan?
It does. Group effort. So, thank you for joining us today in the spiral, because honestly, the season of becoming is messy and it's ridiculous and it's a little existential. So, it's life. you know?
It is life. So, friends, if this is a new place for you, don't forget to subscribe, to follow, say hi to us on our social media platform. You can find all of that in our show notes. We just love seeing your faces. We love hearing your stories and knowing we're just not the only ones who are spiraling through the chaos, because life is messy.
Chaos is real, and none of us have it all figured out.
And that's exactly why we're here, because
what even is this?